Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So today we are going to be making chicken noodle soup. It's the fall, and who doesn't like a good bowl of soup to warm you up? So we're going to, actually my husband's going to be joining me here pretty soon, and we're going to be doing this together. So let's get started. Okay, so I got my stock pot here. I'm using a much larger stock pot than what I normally would use. Normally I just use a small little one, but we have 2 packages of chicken legs to go in, and we've got 2 carcasses from when we bought some rotisserie chicken before. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on the, oh, we already put the water in here, so we got that going. I'm going to go ahead and light this, and I'm going to go ahead and add some seasonings, and you can add whatever seasonings you want to add. I'm adding some garlic powder, and you want to kind of be liberal with whatever you're adding. And then I'm going to add some onion powder. And then I'm going to add some salt. Once again, remember, be liberal. And I'm going to add some pepper. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my chicken. So I'm using chicken legs. You want bone-in, skin-on chicken. And I'm just going to add this in here. Whoa. Did you see that? It just like popped up. So I'm getting a chicken bath. And we just got these from Costco a while back, and we're just using them up. You can use thighs, breasts, whatever you want to use, but you want to make for sure though that they have a bone and skin. Alright, so I got those in there, and now I'm going to grab the chicken carcasses. Okay, so the chicken carcasses still have some chicken on them, but they are just loaded with flavor. Whoa. And I'm going to dump everything in here that's in this bag. And once again, we just grabbed this from Costco. And same thing with the other carcass. I'm just going to dump it in here. And don't worry, I'm going to be straining everything, so it's not like I'm going to miss out on, or I'm going to get some bones or anything in there. Chop that onion. Oh, dang, this is a mess. Okay, so we also have saved some of our veggies from various nights. We've had some celery in here, some carrots, some asparagus, some green onion, or I don't even know what's all in here, but it's going to be delicious. And then I have half of an onion that I have left over from a couple nights ago. And I'm just dumping that in there. Let me wash my hands. Okay, so I'm going to stir this up and get everything all mixed together. And I'm probably going to need to add some more water. We had, how many cups of water? 24 cups of water in this, but I think that I'm going to need to add some more because not all the chicken is covered. So I think we're going to add another, another 8 cups in here. And once I get the water in here, I'll show you what it looks like. And then we're just going to let this boil and simmer for about an hour until the chicken is all cooked, and then we're going to strain it. And then from the strained chicken, or once we strain it, thank you. Once we strain it, then we're going to add some fresh vegetables to it and add some more seasoning. And then after it cooks for a little bit, then we're going to add our noodles. Noodles don't take very long. But this is a great meal that you can put in the crock pot and leave it on after you've made it. Leave it in the crock pot for, you know, the day. You can freeze it. It's wonderful to freeze. And then you have dinner whenever you need it. And so it's just a great thing to have. It's also a comforting meal. I love chicken noodle soup. So to me, this is like really good. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. And that's what the soup looks like currently. So we're going to let it, like I said, we're going to let it come to a boil. We're going to let it simmer for about an hour. Okay? So this video, as I move you around and jiggle everything under the sun, is going to take several hours to do. So this isn't something you can just whip up real quick when you get home from work. You want to make sure you do it the original recipe on like a day that you don't have to work or you have some time. And then, but once you freeze it, you can pull it out of the freezer and then you got a meal to go. All right, so I will see you back in about an hour. All right, thanks. Okay guys, so we are now boiling. So I'm going to show you what it looks like boiling. It's looking really, really, really good. Isn't that amazing? It smells even better. Okay, so we're going to let it boil until the raw chicken is cooked, and then we're going to strain it. So I will show you what we do at that point. All right, so I will be back here probably in a half hour or so. Okay, so we are done cooking now, and now we're going to get everything out of the big pot. We're going to turn it off because everything is nicely cooked. And we are ready to go. So my husband's going to help out with this. So he's going to join us. And we're going to get going on scooping all of the chicken and the vegetables. And everything is coming out. We're putting it in a big bowl. He's using a spider to do this with. And we're just going to put it in a great big bowl. Look at all that stuff. And the juice is just coming off of it. If you guys could smell my kitchen right now, you would just be amazed. It smells so good. And then after we get all of this out of there, we are going to strain it into a smaller pot. And then we're going to let the chicken cool for just a little bit so that we can handle it. And then we're going to take the skin off of the chicken legs and then we're going to take the chicken off of the legs and chop it up a little bit. And then everything will go back into the pot with some other ingredients along with carrots and celery and some more seasoning. And then we'll cook it for a little bit, just a short time. And then we'll add the noodles. And then we will be ready for dinner. We're ready to go. And it is, if you guys could, like I said, smell my kitchen. It smells so good. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm just going to move you over slowly. As you can see, everything's out. Everything's in the big pot. And so we are going to do the next step. Okay, so as you can tell, we have a little bit of a fat layer going on. So we're going to skim that off because you don't want that in your soup. And then we're going to go from there. So here's all the chicken and the goodies, and it's all cooled off, so we're going to be able to shred the chicken here pretty soon. Right now we're just getting ready to skim off the fat off of the broth. Okay, so we're just pouring the broth into a strainer, and oh my gosh, if you guys could smell this, it smells so delicious. So, and this will just get off all the little things that we didn't think that we could get off of there. And we put it into a smaller pot, as you can tell, and look at all the stuff that it strained off. Wow, that is so amazing, and it smells so good. So I also just wanted to remind you guys that, you know, you can use this recipe for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, so you can also do this with your turkey carcass and make the same thing, just make turkey noodle soup. It's gonna be delicious. So now we're gonna let that sit there for a minute and we're gonna move on. Okay, so we ended up straining it again, which we got off quite a bit of stuff, and then we poured it back into the original pan. And now we're going to go over and start shredding the chicken. We gotta cut up some celery and we gotta cut up some carrots. Then we're gonna add all that along with sugar and chicken bouillon back into this, and it's just gonna be delicious. Okay, so we're starting the process of shredding the chicken into smaller pieces. And as you can tell, it's just falling off the bone. It's just delicious. And I'm gonna emphasize, I can't emphasize this enough, that when you do this, you want to make for sure you have pieces with skin and bone, because that's what makes it tastes so much better. That's what flavors it. So we're just dumping all this back in there, and it's gonna be really good. Okay, this part is probably going to be really boring, so I will pop on and off during this portion of it. As you can tell, it's just coming off of the bone so nicely. Look at it just falling off there. Wow. That's what you want too. You want it to be able to just fall off of the bone and into a pan. So it's just looking really good. Look at all that chicken that we got. Of course, we also accidentally dropped a veggie in there, but we'll get rid of that. Oh, look it, it's gone. If you guys could smell this, you'd be like, wow, smells so good. And I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna get that out of there. Sorry, guys. I'm like all over the place, and you're probably going, stop. Okay, so now, sorry about that, guys. I had to turn my camera around. So now, oh, pardon me, we are doing the carrots and celery that will go in. And since we made so much stock, we've doubled the amount of celery and carrots that you need. So, but once again, it's all subjective. You just have to decide what is important to you and how much you want, and then you can decide if you want fewer carrots, more carrots, or if you don't, or celery, or if you don't even want them. It's completely up to you. Okay, so you just want to dice them up into smaller pieces, and then they're going to go into the stock pot. And when we put them in the stock pot, we're going to bring them back up to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then we're going to add our noodles. And we're just using plain old egg noodles for the noodles. But if you don't have egg noodles and you want to use something different, you are more than welcome to do that. It's up to you. Or you don't even have to put noodles in there at all if you don't want to. You can use macaroni noodles, you can use whatever you want. But right now we're just chopping the veggies. My husband's doing a great job on them, isn't he?
I hope so.
This is the part I'm never fond of doing, but he's such a great guy. He can do it for me. Helps out. He's got rogue carrots going on. Carrots is not something I enjoy chopping because you got to put your muscle into it. And I don't think I always have enough muscle. But we left the skin on, but you can take the skin off if you want to, but if you leave the skin on, it does give it a more vitamins that way. So we left them on, and it makes it a little tastier. So, but once again, it's completely up to you. It's your soup. You do what you want to do. So Baxter found his piece of chicken and now he's out in the backyard barking. I guess he's letting his barking buddies know that he got a treat of some chicken. We'll see if they respond back. Okay, now we're going to take this and add this along with a few other ingredients into our stock pot. Okay, so we've turned the heat back on and now we're adding the carrots and celery into the hot water, or hot broth, excuse me, hot broth. Oh my gosh, if you guys could smell this, you'd be amazed. It smells so delicious. And it is looking so good. So after we get the veggies in here, we're going to add some sugar, and we are actually going to add some chicken bouillon along with it. And those are the only remaining seasonings that we're going to add. We're not going to add any more. I don't think it needs any more. It smells delicious, and I don't think we need to add anything else. But once again, if you think you need to add something different, then by all means add it. I cannot stress enough, though, that you need to season up your, when you start to cook the chicken, you need to season it up really, really well. To the point that you are over seasoning it. And it will taste, believe me, it will taste just fine. It's going to be delicious. So I am so looking forward to this. The only thing I'm not too thrilled with myself on is that I did not make any homemade bread, because homemade bread with this would be great. So we're just going to have to make do with just soup. So, okay, so we're going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar, or no, 1 teaspoon, right? Or no, 2 teaspoons. I'm sorry. I'll get it straight. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar.
Pour the whole cup in, okay?
Well, they didn't see the container. So we added 2 teaspoons of sugar, and then we're going to add 3 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. And the bouillon we're using, can you show me the bouillon? This is what we're using. And we're just going to add 3 teaspoons of that. You hear it plopping. Okay, and now we're going to bring it up to a simmer. We're going to let it simmer for 20 minutes or half hour. I don't remember. I will let you know for sure how long we let it simmer for. And then we are going to add the noodles. And the noodles, you will only want to cook until the noodles are cooked. And you can also, if you decide you don't want to add all the noodles, you can wait and hold off and just add them as you go to make it, warm them up. It's up to you, however you want to do, whatever you want to do. But look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so good. So much goodness right there. Delicious. So, all right, so I will bring you back in about 20 minutes to a half hour. Okay, so it is now time to add the noodles, and we're only going to cook them for 7 minutes while the recipe says 12. We're going to do 7 because they're so hot. So those are the noodles, and they're going in, and we're going to stir them. You know, guys, it's great having a sous chef today. He's been such a great help. Ooh, look at that. So we're going to cook this for 7 minutes. And then we're going to turn off the heat, and we'll probably let it sit for a little bit because I don't know if we're really ready for dinner, but that's what it looks like. I will take a picture when I have my bowl of soup and add it and include it, but it is smelling so good. And then I do want to show you what we're going to be putting the rest of this in. After the soup is cooled off and we're done, we're going to put them in these containers. And we'll put them in the freezer, and as you can tell, we're going to be able to put a lot of that soup away, and we will pull it out for dinners, you know, some night when it's nice and cold and you just want a hot bowl of soup. We'll pull it out, warm it up, and enjoy. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to take a picture of the soup when we serve it, and let you see how it looks. But in the meantime, remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share button. And thanks for coming along on this journey with me and my husband. We've enjoyed having you. Hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.